Hi, good afternoon folks. It's a stormy afternoon. I'm just wondering if we're going to get away with a dry afternoon or whether we're going to have heavy thunderstorms. But anyways, we're Einbocking today, and I'm in the field that has been summer fallowed for a year and a bit. This is where the jungle ploughing video was filmed, just up there between the copse of trees and the bush line. It was the area where I shot the jungle ploughing video quite a while ago with the dogs and the truck. 4 feet high grass, which was all pretty much quiet grass. But anyway, we've got barley in it now, and this is the first time this part of the field, or majority of the field, has grown anything for quite a few years. The field itself was very, very rough. I think it had been chisel plowed and just left for a couple of years, or 3 years, or 4 years, whatever. And the quiet grass just took over. But anyway, managed to plow it under and disked it and cultivated it and disked it and cultivated it and disked it and cultivated it all last year. And this year I was able to get a barley crop seeded in here. So we've got the Einbock on the back, and I'll show you how the Einbock unfolds itself. It's quite a complicated gadget, but it's operated by the remote valves, the spool valves here. So by pulling on this lever, we can lower the Einbock down like this. It's got some guide wheels there which stop it going down too far and hitting this surface. And the other side works pretty much the same. Pull on the lever. Down she goes. Very clever piece of geometry. Glad I didn't have to design that. But anyway, the next thing we do is we lower it down into the working position, which is on the 3-point linkage or 3-point hitch, whatever you want to call it. It's number 10, so the draft is cancelled, so we're on position only, and we just push it down till the wheels are just taking a little bit of weight and the tines are just touching the surface. If we look over at the dash, excuse me, you can see in the middle there, I don't know if you can see that, middle there it says 25. So 25% is where your link arms are, and you can raise them up by pulling back on the quadrant. 70% back down to somewhere there. I kind of stick around the 26 to 28% mark, although I will alter it, I will change it as I go down the field. If the tines are not being aggressive enough, if I've come across a hard piece of soil, or if I've come across a soft piece, then I'll lift it out. And it's a judgment call, but you've got your hand here on the hydraulic control quadrant all the time, pretty much. And it's a thing you get used to after a while. You keep one eye on where you're going, and then you keep one eye out the back here looking at what the Einbock's doing. Yeah, remember this is organic barley, and it will never ever look quite as spectacular as conventional barley, but we've got a good plant population in here, I think. Obviously it's thinner in places than others, and we can get out and have a look if you want. Let's turn the tractor off. That's the handbrake beeper. Tractor's not going anywhere, but the beeper still goes anyway. So well, the drill is 30 feet wide. It comprises of 3 separate 10-footers. So this area here is where there's a little gap between the 2 sets of drills. You can't do much about it. And we're coming in to do the Einbocking, and we've got little weed plants here, and this is our barley crop. We are at the 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 leaf stage. I could have come in early, but I just wanted these plants to get a little bit bigger, a little bit more robust. The weeds weren't emerging at the time. It would have been good just to get them as well, you know, when they're in the white wire stage, when they're just on the verge of moving. But these little buggers, these will get wiped out. And the soil's got a bit of a cap on it, bit of a cap there, you know, which is good in a way because it stops the weed seeds from emerging, but not totally. And it needs breaking, really. A cap needs breaking so that the soil can breathe, and any rain or dew that comes from now on can enter the soil, because we don't want the barley to scorch off if it gets a lot of sun. And in this part of the world, it will. We have 20 hours of daylight per day, and that's a lot of energy hitting the surface, which the plant can use, but also it'll dry out the plants as well. You know, if fresh moisture can't get into the soil, then it'll dry out pretty quick. You can see a yellow patch over there. That is a wet patch, because after this was drilled, we had a day, then we had 36 hours where we had over 3 inches of rain, and then 3 or 4 days later we had the same thing. So this ground has had, I would think, in the last 2 weeks, 9 inches of rain probably, in 2 major dumps and then 2 or 3 smaller ones. A lot of moisture, which is why it's capped, and I'm surprised it hasn't capped worse. But anyway, you got to be thankful for small mercies. And if you look at the rows are well defined. There are no areas where there's green in between the rows. If there was green in between the rows, that would tell me that the quietgrass is starting to take hold again. And I've spent a lot of time and burnt a lot of diesel in this field making sure that the quietgrass is subdued. You'll never get rid of all of it, but you will subdue it to the extent that you can get a crop growing. So I'm quite happy with what I'm looking at. It's about 120 acres, this field. You can see the differences in the, between 2 sections of the drill here. As you go around a bend, the inside goes slower than the outside. Well, this would have been the outside of a previous pass. This is the inside of the next pass. So the drill will chuck out seed thicker on the right hand side than the left. That's what you're looking at here. Can't do much about that. It's rather an old drill, but it's not too bad. It does a reasonable job. Very hard to find a conventional seed drill in this country now. Everybody's gone over to pneumatic air drills, 60 feet wide. Put in the seed and fertilizer together. Well, we don't use fertilizer, so we're actively looking for a different kind of seeding mechanism, but at the moment we're just going to use the old-fashioned John Deere. So there we are. I've done enough talking. I'd better get moving. So Einbocking we go.